It's not that we don't know what the overarching, like the big thing that's going on in these films is right now. There just isn't. We don't know because nobody knows because it doesn't exist. They're just trying to get out of this phase to the next one so they can tell the Kang Dynasty or have Kang come in. We're going to talk about the Falcon, not the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America 4. He's not the Falcon anymore. He is now Captain America, Captain Falcon, whatever you want to call him. Anthony Mackie, he's taken over the role of Captain America. He will be headlining Captain America 4. I think they have an actual name for that now. New World Order or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be about the band.
He had some comments on what he would like to see in the film. And he said, and this apparently goes back before the film was even a thing, I want a fight scene that rivals Chris Evans' fight scene in the elevator in 2014's Captain America The Winter Soldier when he fought like 10 dudes in the elevator. That was a badass scene. The first time I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. So I just want a fight scene that rivals that. The scene was directed by brothers Anthony and Joe Russo. The said scene is a reflection of Roger's skills. The fight sees Evans using a mix of techniques to take down approximately 10 strike agents single-handedly. Captain America, yes, the New World Order will release in theaters in 2024. Okay, so I get it. Anthony Mackie's like, I'm Captain America now. And that was a badass scene. That's a very popular scene. And I understand why he's like, I want my own elevator fight scene. I get it. I would too. However, you need to earn it. I feel like Captain America, Chris Evans' Captain America, he put in the time, he built up the emotional connection and investment in that character and that scene, not just the character, but leading up to that scene, because the scene was not just, you can put people fighting in an area, and if you have no investment in the characters and what's going on, the stakes at hand, it means nothing. One of the things that meant a lot there was that Captain America, we had just found out that Hydra was in control. These are all Hydra people around him. He's stuck in this elevator. That meant something because we had gone all this time thinking S.H.I.E.L.D. was what it was, but it's actually Hydra, and that was a big deal. That doesn't happen overnight. They earned that reveal. So when he's surrounded by these people that are about to try and take him in, and he gets in this big fight with them in this elevator, it wasn't just the physical actions going on here. It was a lot of the emotional and just the story beats. It was the investment that we had in what was going on, not just the fight, but what was going on thematically with the story. And I feel like that's something you got to earn, but that is one of the big problems with the MCU right now. They don't seem like they want, and I'm not saying Anthony Mackie himself, but the showrunner or the makers of the MCU, they don't want to earn these things. That's why the Infinity Saga meant so much. That's why it was so impactful, because we built up to that. There was it took time to get there. They put the time and the work in to create these interesting characters and stories to get us to these points in these films and in the big team-up films to make it mean something, make it count. When these actions happened, they hit us hard. So if you just have a new movie where he just has a cool a fight scene with cool choreography, that doesn't mean anything. You can get that anywhere. You can watch that kind of shit anywhere. I mean, that's my opinion. What about you, Nick?
To be personally honest, and I have to disagree with you a little bit on Anthony Mackie. I think he's been in with since Winter Soldier. So I mean, he has built.
I do think that.
I know what you're going at, because he hasn't been, the main focus. But I think even as bad and as crappy as I thought Falcon Winter Soldier are, I think a cool fight could work for him, just on the simple fact of, I do like the Ant-Man sequence with him and Winter Soldier, or with him and the Falcon. I do like that. So I don't necessarily think that like he needs an elevator scene, but I do think, we'll talk about later on with a certain other, MCU character. I think they need to give him something. I mean, I'm not saying like it needs to be the elevator sequence, but I think if they give him nothing, it'd be like what we complain about all the time. It's like there's so much, like you said earlier, there's so much there, and a lot of it is payoff. I think that sucks. And
I agree. Let me re-preface what I'll say. What I meant.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like, yeah.
Not so much him. I didn't clarify this. Not his character. His character has been around, and his character has earned, having a connection to him. And I'm totally with that. But his character as Captain America and his films. He hasn't had his movie. He's been a key part to these movies, but these movies, these new ones moving forward, these new Captain America, I feel like those, whatever the, because there's no investment in the MCU right now. There ain't shit. There's nothing happening. We don't know what there is no, it's not that we don't know what the overarching, like the big thing that's going on in these films is right now. There just isn't. We don't know because nobody knows because it doesn't exist. They're just trying to get out of this phase to the next one so they can tell the Kang Dynasty or have Kang come in, Kang the Conqueror. Phase 4 is just the most muddled, out there, throw it all at the wall, see what works, and none of it works phase there's been. But I mean, like the Captain America saga, if you will, up to that point, and yes, it was very much connected to the MCU as a whole. There were stakes there. Like the whole Hydra thing built up. And yes, I agree. He can have it, and he will. I'm sure there'll be a cool fight scene of some sort that he'll have, and he does deserve that, and I think he'll get it. But will it have that same weight as the elevator fight scene? Because the elevator fight scene is looked upon as really good. Because it is good. It's a good scene.
Yeah. It's very difficult to capture magic like that. Like that, because it was actually kind of, that scene in general was like a lot of the earlier arcs of the MCU where sometimes the action sequence would kind of come out of nowhere. You're like, you weren't expecting Captain America to just have like a crazy ass fight sequence in an elevator. It just wasn't like, it wasn't something you expected. Here it's just like you're starting to expect things to happen. And
and it had a great build up to it, and when he walks in there, it just built up to it greatly, and that movie itself did. But the whole story arc for the whole MCU as a whole, not to that one scene, but it was all building. It was building. Everything was building up. That was just one culmination of events. But the movie built up to that. And then he gets on there and he just finally and he's just like, I can't remember what he says, but he's like, you guys ready to do this?
Yeah.
And then like,
oh shit.
Yeah, it built up to it and then it just went the fuck down. And I was like, that was awesome. I don't see those kind of scenes in this new MCU. And unfortunately for Anthony Mackie, because he does come from the old MCU, but he's now in this new one, I hope that they get that mojo back, but I don't see them, from what I've seen in the past couple of years, I don't see them having something that will be that impactful in his film. I hope they do, though, because I like his character. I like Anthony Mackie. I like Captain America. I'm not very impressed with this Captain America so far. We've only gotten Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but that show didn't do it for me.
No, it was terrible.
But yeah, it was not good. And maybe there was a good show there at some point, but they chopped it up so much and took things out and added things, and just I don't know I don't think they knew what the hell they were doing by the time they got there. But either way, yeah, I do agree. I think we're somewhere in the middle. I agree that yes, he will and can have a cool action scene that's just actions, but to be as impactful as that one, to be remembered as the elevator, because you say the elevator scene, people know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, if he has a construction site scene, you say that, people are going to be like, well, which one? What? He's wanting that type of impactful scene. Well, get your people that are writing that story to build you some good drama to get you there, because it's not always just about the actual what's happening on screen. It's what's happening thematically as well that always adds to your action. You have great action. If there's nothing behind it, most people aren't going to care. At least that's what I think. But let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think that Anthony Mackie will get his elevator fight scene? Not necessarily in an elevator, but, you know, his iconic fight scene that people will just know, everybody will be aware of? Let us know. Do you think that his character, do you think that this new MCU is able to provide that? Let us know in the comments below.